What's going on, Sagittarius? And welcome to my channel, Alchemist. Justin here, and I hope you're having a fantastic week so far. So, for those of you who are returning, welcome back, Soul Tribe. I appreciate your subscriptions, your likes, and shares. Your support really is just amazing, Sag, and it keeps us growing. And for those of you who are new, welcome. I'm happy Higher Self has brought you here. We are in for an amazing journey. So Sagittarius, it's time for your general weekly, almost. So I've been working on trying to figure out how I'm going to introduce these weekly readings now, Sag, and it's been, I got like a handful more, so we'll see how that's going. But this is your general weekly spread. So whenever you come across this, there may be a message there for you, okay? I'm getting it together, I promise. And then just so you're all aware, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one. So take what resonates with you, leave the rest with me, and never force a reading on a situation, okay? So with all that being said, let's jump into it. Your space has been cleansed. Gems, feeling lovely. Just great energy all around here, Sagittarius. So Sag, with this reading, I'm just going to be going with the flow. We're going to be pulling a few oracle cards and then getting some tarot to get a little more detailed in the mix. But just so you all know, these readings that I do, they're not gender specific readings. So apply these energies to people as they make sense for your situations, okay? And then lastly, the decks that I'm working with. I've included links for all of them down in the description box below, so definitely check that out if you're interested there, Sag. Let's see what we got here. Oh, look at you, you innovator. You got the third card of Leo's here, which is the Inventor card. I like that. And the Inventor card, this is a card of innovation, imagination, creative, gadgets, technology, groundbreaking developments, okay to fail, do it again and again, inspired ideas, setting trends, mastermind, and modern era. And I'll tell you what, Sagittarius, this is absolutely some stuff that you all could be doing right now. Just because, yours is a sign. One, you're ruled by Jupiter. We talk about that all the time. You're just drenched in luck. But you're also, Jupiter's more than just that luck and abundant aspect. In order to receive that abundance and, to really get out there, we have to really, Jupiter being a planet of higher learning as well, really broadening our horizons, Sagittarius, and really thinking about really flexing that creative muscle and your imagination and your innovation, and really start just like creating some things, whether this be, and it doesn't even necessarily have to even just be like a business, for example. This could be just like being just creative in general, being in that energy, whether you're tinkering around maybe with some maybe you like working with like computers, or maybe you like working with just like maybe watches, or maybe art your jam, maybe like poetry, maybe we work with whatever it is. I feel like that this is a good time to just be in that type of energy right now, Sagittarius. Just on the, even if we're working got like a regular job, just working in some time on the side, just little pockets of things. Let's start once a week. If we can make it like a daily thing, that would be dope. But start once a week, maybe carve out maybe between 10-30 minutes, just be in your craft for a little while, and just really indulge in that and just see where that takes you. You may, because I feel like yours, your sign is one that when you really get in that space and you're learning, you're refining your skills and all of that, I just feel like that just ideas and things can really start coming into you. And here's the thing. If we do have a bunch of ideas, maybe this is something where you've been feeling, you've just been feeling really prolific as of late, just really just like just great ideas, just gold, just all, just you write them all down. And listen, that's not to say that if you can tackle all of them, Sagittarius, I'm absolutely with it. But if there's some things that you're just like, oh, I don't quite have the skill set for, if it's something that you're interested in learning with, set those in one list, and the rest of the stuff, let's maybe start pitching some ideas with some other people, let's start collaborating and see where that gets you, because this is a great time for this type of innovative energy right here. This is going to be primo energy for like the next like 20 years, because like with Pluto being in Aquarius, innovation is going to be the name of the game. Technology is going to be changing. Everything is going to be the new trend. We're in a whole new era. Like this Pluto in Aquarius is just going to give us a flavor, but starting next year, January, whole new ballpark. The game, the rules, everything is changing. And so just thinking and looking at this, okay to fail and do it again and again. If we've got like ideas, let's say if we want to start up a business or something like that, don't be afraid of failure, Sagittarius. If anything, let the failures be a lesson for you. What went wrong and how can we keep that from repeating itself? And if we're noticing that something, if we keep getting repeat fails, it's like, yeah, then we need to adjust. But this is a time, the craziest ideas are the ones that are not being implemented right now, or at least being explored. So just, because who knows, you may get really some groundbreaking developments. Like, I remember one of my favorite examples, I remember spitballing with the Sag one day, and I tell you what, they were just like, it was just bam, 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 bam. I was just like, whoa, I don't even got to pay, like, wait a minute. It was like, but they were all, it wasn't even just like random stuff though. If we find the right people, they could be like, they probably just opened up like 5-10 businesses right there, Sag, and it's just that type of time. Don't restrict yourself at this time. Dream big, especially for your sign being ruled by the biggest planet, big, expansive, let's get into some tarot here. Get a little bit more on this groundbreaking time. Pisces had something similar where I feel like, Jupiter ruled, Queen of Cups. Jupiter ruled, I'm going to talk about that. Jupiter ruled signs, you and Pisces. I feel like you're in an age or like in a time of just like really abundance, and possibly like exploring like some new ideas or something along those lines. But let's see what this energy, see what's going on with this energy here, because you got Queen of Cups here, and I was geeking out over that just because this is Cancer's card, and Jupiter, your ruler, is exalted in Cancer, so that's already telling me this is going to be fantastic. Lovely. We're freeing restrictions here. Oh yes. So okay, so let me tell you what's going down here. So you got the Eight of Swords and the Judgment card in reverse here, and then we have the Queen of Cups and the Seven of Pentacles upright. And so just thinking about that failing aspect. If some of us, maybe if we tried something in the past that didn't quite go right, maybe just things kind of blew up and we're just, we're not just talking about Pluto, this is Pluto's card here. But if something didn't quite go right, maybe things didn't, like a job maybe failed, or maybe we tried to do like maybe we tried to do like a promotion, maybe that didn't quite go through, whatever this may be. I feel like that this Eight of Swords is saying, don't let that get in your head. Don't let that affect this growth. The Queen of Cups, she reflects on everything that happens to her. All the pleasant memories and all of the ones that require the less than pleasant ones, but that got her some growth. Because when she reflects on this stuff, this allows her, when she looks back at these, especially when we're thinking about at these failures, because the failures, Sag, they're not meant to keep you down. This is meant to help you grow. This is meant to help you push forward into, because after the Judgment card is the world, your whatever it is that you wanted to manifest, the last stop on the major arcana train before we start all over. So this is a time, don't let this thing deter you. How can we invest in this differently? What is this something where maybe we need like a buddy, whatever this is. But just being I feel like this just for some, this is just thinking about where we're investing our energy, or when we're reflecting on this stuff, just learning from these lessons so that we can get on to this next cycle. Don't allow yourself to stay stuck. Free your mind up. See it from a different perspective with this Eight of Swords in reverse. Now I'm also feeling just like for some others. I feel like that this would be a good time just, because Queen of Cups, is very nurturing energy as well. And I feel that this is something that, with the Seven of Pentacles, invest in some of your ideas, Sag, whether that be, and I'm not even just talking again for like a business standpoint. I just mean just like as a recreational type of thing. Investing in those type of energies. This is a great, because you never know, Sag, while you might be maybe in the middle of painting, you might be inspired by something for work, and then you like a great idea, and the next thing you got like promotion, like who knows. But I do feel like that there is something that could potentially change the game up for you here if you were to invest in these little things, making a little more time for you, and just giving, because especially if we've been feeling maybe in a place of like been feeling a little stressed, or maybe been feeling like a low self-esteem, possibly anything along those lines. So I tell you what, there's nothing like a good self-esteem booster than when you've completed something and that this is something that you've done. You've just like, and this doesn't have to be something where you're like doing like maybe like woodworking or anything along those lines. This could be maybe even like graphic design, or maybe you're building apps, or building websites, or whatever, Sag. But just really carving out this time to be innovative, to be creative, to tinker, to just, this is an age of just creation right now. So just have fun with it and enjoy yourself. And something I feel like is going to, who knows what changes could come for you on this horizon here, or in the future there, Sag. So just something to think about, Mark. Let's see what else we have here. Let me get some, okay. Let's see what else we have. Wow! My girl! She came out. All right. I'm with her. Hold on, let me get Zen. What's good? I'll tell you what's good, Sag. You're good. Because with the Empress popping up in reverse here, this is kind of what I was talking about. I feel like we're in a place right now where with all this, because it's an interesting time, because there's this, we're a little bit of an uncertain time. There's a lot of change that's going on here. But with all of that change that's going down, there's space that's being, there's space that's being cleared. And this allows for the Empress. We're going through, it's like the world is going through like a tower moment right now. Really, the world is going through like a judgment with Pluto energy, all this transformation. But with all these establishments and everything just kind of changing up, this allows you, Sag, to, what do you want to manifest in this new world here? And this is something where if you don't feel that you can, or that especially if we're thinking about like starting up a business, for example, this is a time where you can absolutely feel in that space with Empress energy, and make these ideas come to life. But this is something that you're going to need to nurture, to really build in this and take care of this and give this all, as much energy as it's going to take. But yeah, this really does feel like, Sagittarius, just whether we're starting up a business or we're just creating just to be creative, Empress energy is as well. she appreciates the finer things in art. You know, like she rules Taurus, Venus rules Taurus and Libra. And both signs, you know, are signs of, you know, just beauty and this like earth, well, more Taurus on the earth side, but, you know, connecting with like earthly energy and nurturing and this really, to me, you could potentially, I don't know how you want to fill this space, Sag, but this is something where you can fill this, you know, your space, this world with just your dreams, your creations, and all of that. And you know, that may be something too, you know, maybe just starting with, if we haven't been doing these things for ourselves, you know, start doing some stuff, you know, filling your world with more creativity, more art. You know, maybe this is something like maybe getting out too, possibly, you know, if you're a fan of like, you know, maybe going to like a gallery or like a museum or just something maybe where you're amongst, like, you know, maybe going to like a concert or something along those lines, you know, just listen to maybe some music, but just something, you know, Sagittarius. I really feel like creation for you is going to be a really beneficial thing at this time, and really going to bring in just a state of where you're feeling confident, feeling at your, and just something too. Because this creativity, all this creative work and imagination, this is a form of self-care too. Because the Empress, you know, one of my big things for her too, she's my card of self-care and taking care of that. And, you know, we have to nourish those creative energies and, you know, nourish that, you know, nurture that inner child, you know, and that allow them to express themselves every now and again. Really as often as we can there, Sag. But also, last little thing, when we're going to move on, just thinking about children and whatnot. If we're Empress in reverse right now, we're not thinking about children, just because you got the Empress and the Queen of Cups is very fertile energy here. So just be mindful of where we're investing our energy there, Sag. So let's get another Oracle card in the mix here. Oh, okay. Let's see what else we have here. Ooh, I like that. You got the 6th card of Geminis here, which is the Train card. And this is a card of moving on, life's journey, new endeavor, going away, one direction, on track, focus, one time, keep going forward, going with the flow, inflexible, steady climb, and no resistance. And this is interesting. You know, I almost feel like that with this Train card, if some of us have maybe been, if some of us maybe have been feeling like we've been in a rut as of late, maybe it's been just, I'm just thinking with the train, you know, how it can just be like on one track for just so long, you know, and very little maneuvering in things. If we've been feeling like we've been in a rut as of late, I feel like this Train card is saying, you know, let's shake some things up. Let's start a new endeavor. Let's yeah, just breathe some new life in this, you know, really kind of change, just with the Judgment card, change up how things are operating, you know, really allowing ourselves to get out of this like predictable nature maybe, or something along those lines there, Sag. But this could be something too. Just thinking with the Empress being in reverse, you know, maybe this is something where we might want to go on like a trip or something along those lines. Get back in touch with nature. What better way to do something creative than to be in touch with the earth, you know? Or maybe it's something like maybe starting up a garden, but yeah, like maybe going to like a body of water, or however this looks, maybe to a park, you know, but maybe just like getting out and maybe doing like a little traveling as well. But let's get some tarot on this, and let's see where this is, how we can work with this energy. All right, Sag. Ooh, all right. here's Taurus. And with, I was gonna say with Taurus popping up, with the Hierophant. I feel like with the Hierophant popping up here, you know, this almost feels like maybe for some of us that I feel like that if we were to take a moment and really start doing some of this, really getting in this like creative space, I feel like that, because the Hierophant for me kind of like, he's like that bridge to like your higher self, you know, because like the next card after him is the Lovers, and that's when higher self is winking at you. But I feel like that if we were to move towards this direction of working in more creativity, that's going to strengthen our connection with our higher selves, future selves, you know, however you connect to the source, Sag. And I really feel like that this is going to, or could bring out some kind of growth for you, some kind of like spiritual growth, you know, some sort of like, because really there's something about when you tap into like your artistic side, or tap into that imaginative space where you're just creating things. It's you really, you know, the messages that can come through, and the inspirations that'll come with you, you know, while you're doing this stuff, you know, it's really incredible. So I just, you know, that's I feel like for some of you that could definitely be, really for all of you, that could definitely be like a thing. And I feel like, you know, for fire signs, that's something that's, you know, that's a big thing, you know, like fire signs, you are inspirational. It's naturally so. Like I remember, well, I was watching like a video not too long ago, and Aries was doing a reading, and I'll tell you what, just even that energy alone gets you geeked up. But then I remember, I know like a surprising amount of, there's a lot of Sagittarius around in my life, or the people that I know, but you know, you all have this. I feel like Sagittarius, it's so different than how Leo and Aries do it. It's just like you really are, you're great. And this is something too. Okay, hold on. Let's switch gears, because maybe this is something that, maybe for some others, I feel like that maybe some of us may be thinking about possibly going into maybe like teaching, for example. You know, the Hierophant can be a card of, or, you know, can be a card of like, you know, like coming into like higher education and things along those lines. So maybe some of us are thinking about maybe becoming some type of teacher for maybe like building gadgets or working with art or something along those lines, you know, whatever this new endeavor. Or maybe this is something where vice versa, maybe this is something like reach out to someone if we were thinking about maybe wanting to take like our art, like our, let's say maybe music skills or something to like the next level, you know, maybe getting like a mentor or something along those lines, Sag. But I feel like there's just a lot of opportunity for you here, and a lot of chances for some growth. But let's get a little bit more on this. And you know, just kind of looking at that, just with that inflexible part of the train card, and thinking about Taurus, you know, because of the fixed signs, because Taurus is the earth sign, Taurus can be a little more stubborn than the rest of the fixed signs when they're fixated on something. It's a little hard to get them moving. But I bring that up to say, why did I bring that up? I bring that up to say that if we've just been kind of like, I had a point. Oh, it just fell out of my head. It'll come back to me if it's important, Sag. The World. There it is. So, with the World popping up here, you know, I really, for some of you, you know, maybe again, like I feel like, you know, travel could potentially be a thing, you know, if it's just something to think about. But I also feel like with this World, you know, this is really saying that with this life's, just thinking with this life's journey here, you know, because it's like I was saying, this is the last stop of the major arcana train. You know, thinking, take this time, you know, if we're sort of like at this phase where, you know, maybe we're thinking about possibly, it's like, do we want to start something new? You know, like if we've just even been flirting with the idea, just take this time. Let's Queen of Cups for a second. Just reflect on how this journey has been up until now, and just like what areas do we think we want to improve in? You know, do we want to see to grow, and really start creating that. You know, start manifesting that now, Sagittarius. This is, you know, with because we have a solar eclipse that's coming. It's a rare one. You know, it only happens like about once a decade or so, but it's going to be on the 19th, or between the 19th and the 20th of this month of April, depending on when you're watching this. And this is a great time if we want to think about any sort of like changes, you know, how we may want to come into this Hierophant energy, if you're thinking about maybe going into teaching or whatever this level up may look like. This is a great time to set that intention, you know, to think about, be dreaming up the future, be thinking about what's next, you know, how's this, you know, this upcoming cycle is going to be looking. So yeah, just something to think about, Sag. Okay, so we have here, oh, interesting. Okay, so we have, is that 9 of Swords? Yeah. Ooh, I like that. Okay, so we have 9 of Swords upright, and then we have Ace of Pentacles as well. And, you know, with this popping up, just how these two came together, you know, if we've been at this place where, just think with the 9 of Swords, if we've been feeling like less than abundant here, because that's interesting now, because it's like, you know, now we're 8 of Swords, and now we're at 9 of Swords. But if we've been feeling in a place where like maybe we haven't been felt like we've been abundant, or maybe even feel like, you know, like that we're creative or anything, like innovative, imaginative, something along those lines, if we've just been sort of like stuck in that mindset, I do feel like that is to be mindful of the things that we tell ourselves, you know, always, Sagittarius, but I feel like especially over like the next, let's say like 5 to 6 months, you know, like really make it a point to be mindful of where our headspace is at, because there are so many opportunities for just like to make, you know, to express yourself, and for there, you know, there's all types of abundance and really just opportunities of plenty, chances to network and all of this. But if we get, you know, just be aware of the narrative that we're telling ourselves. And if we find ourselves stuck in like a negative spiral here, when that happens, because it's okay when that happens, even as optimistic as your sign can be, you know, 9 of Swords can happen sometimes, you know, and it can throw us for a loop there, can, you know, throw our Empress in reverse. But this is a time, take a little time in self-care. You know, whatever that negative thing was, acknowledge that, and let's counter it with a positive thing, so that we can neutralize the stuff and get balanced again, Libra energy, and get, you know, and then when we do that, it may not take away from the suck of the situation, but it helps us see how we can improve, how we can get out of this, you know, what steps, you know, what it brings about that inspiration. Because think about this too, you know, the Ace of Pentacles, or just the Pentacles in general, they're more than just money, you know, finances. This can deal with your health, your resources, your manifestation, all of that. So if we're just noticing or feeling like you know, there are certain areas that may be out of whack or feeling a little weird or something along those lines, you know, just being aware of that, because thoughts become things, and believe me, having been, you know, years ago, definitely got stuck in definitely was 8 of Swords, 9 of Swords all day long. But as soon as you start working on that, I'll tell you what, abundance just really just starts flowing. I mean, it's dope. So just another little thing, just something to be mindful of. Okay. Let's see what else. Oh, all right, 9 of Cups, and that's exactly how we counteract 9 of Swords. We stay steeped in the energy. Oh yeah. Okay. Cool. All right, hold up. We stay steeped in that energy that raises our vibration with this Nine of Cups here. And when we do that, that we become a magnet, and then we keep attracting this abundance. That's how the Empress does it. You know, she's when we're not feeling our best, you know, we take a moment, get back balanced again, get back in that you know, that positive mindset, you know, because the Empress is always abundant, and you are always abundant, Sag. I mean, really, because the Empress, I mean, really, the Empress is just like the minor, the small benefactor. You know, Jupiter's the larger benefactor, and that's your ruler. So, you know, you got this. But interesting, you know, maybe for some of you, like, this could be something where we're maybe thinking about. Thinking about maybe starting up like a business, or maybe giving this endeavor a try. I feel like that, because with the just thinking how the Empress and the High Priestess here are in reverse here, and ooh, just thinking with, like, now we got the, like, so if there's something that in our lives, Sag, that if our intuition is telling us that it's not, if something is just not feeling right, you know, whether that be in business, whether that be in relationships, whatever that's looking like, you know, I feel like this Knight of Cups, you know, is saying, like, you know, trust your gut and follow your heart, you know, and listen to your intuition, because that's really going to guide you through this thing. And what better way to really strengthen that intuition than being in that creative space, like I was talking about, Sag. That really helps with that. But you know, I'm just thinking with this, you know, just also something, you know, because here's, how do I want to put this? Because just thinking with this Ten of Swords, because now it's like we got the last little bit here. And interesting that you got this 6th card is Gemini's card. Gemini energy. So really with this Ten of Swords, you know, I really feel like it's important for you, Sagittarius, just to be mindful again of what we're telling ourselves, you know, and also be aware of the people that are around us too, because maybe this is something where maybe we had, because the Hierophant and the High Priestess are, you know, like, we're considered like divine counterparts. But, you know, if we had like a Hierophant who was, you know, had us where we were doubting our High Priestess, or, you know, like our intuition and whatnot, you know, we want to be mindful of those energies around us as well. If they're lowering our vibrations, you know, we want to adjust that stuff, because that's going to affect your abundance too. That's going to keep the Empress in reverse, and it's going to keep you where you can't move on. With this Judgment card, you won't be able to get onto the world until we deal with this stuff. So, you know, I really feel like that, you know, for you all, that really your thoughts, be extra aware of that. Just kind of how this is pointing out here, and really just with how intuitive, because when these two pop out here, this is like really connecting with your intuition strongly. Queen of Cups, super intuitive. Like after these two, Queen of Cups is super intuitive. So just something to think about, okay, Sag? All right, let's get your last oracle card here so we can get you packing. Get you packing for your train trip, or whatever this trip is, you know. This could be even a trip in your mind, you know, as far as like, you know, you're doing some like some research, or, you know, maybe whatever this is looking like. But, and that's something too, Sag, you know, always keep that mind active, because you really do have, you know, just a brilliant mind. So just something to think about that as well. But let's see what else we got here. Oh, more Leo energy. I love that. You got the 8th card of Leos here, which is the hot air balloon. And with the hot air balloon, this is a card of balance, uplifting, freedom, going with the flow. Weren't we going with the flow here? Going with the flow. Rise above, don't resist, new perspective, untouchable, defying gravity, continuous flow, ascension, view, elevate, and feeling good. And you know what? This really, the double going with the flow here, this is a time to just like really kind of, you know, because maybe with these swords, maybe you've been stressed out here as of late, something along those lines. You know, I feel like it's, you know, time to get you in a place of where you can just sort of like go with ease, you know. you know, really, just, you know, you got a train, you got a hot air balloon, you got the world. You know, really, for some of it, you got a horse. I mean, the Queen of Cups is looking at, she's on a beach. You know, there's been a lot of indicators, I feel like, you know, not just in your reading. There's been a lot of indication of just like, you know, travel. And it doesn't necessarily have to be like long term, but just like getting out more. Maybe just like even going for more walks, being out in nature, just getting the energy moving. But I feel that if we start doing that, that's going to bring like new perspectives in like where we're at on our journey. You know, if as far as like if we've been feeling like we've been having like some kind of writer's block or some kind of creative block, get that energy moving. But yeah, this is interesting. You really are. I feel like that if we just kind of take this time and just kind of relax a little bit and really kind of just focus on you, take like an Empress sabbatical. I'm going to try to make that a thing, you know, like just like it's a certified Empress vacation for just everybody. But yeah, just let's get some things on this hot air balloon. Let's see where this is trying to take you. Because it seems like it's time to do some more just like uplifting things, you know? Oh, we're keeping that one? Okay. Oh, that one. Okay. Okay, I think that was the 8 of Wands, yeah? Yep, 8 of Wands, 10 of Wands. Both your cards. And with these cards, it's, you know, really, if we've been just feeling kind of just maybe overburdened, you know, again, with maybe work, with people, with life, you know, whatever. Eight of Wands. Oh, let's see if I can get this work. Oh, come on, hands. 8 of Wands. Another card, really, card of me for travel. But also, I feel like if we take this time and alleviate some of these burdens, and because this is the 10 of Wands, this is Saturn in your sign, Saturn in Sagittarius, and wherever, and that's a weird place for Saturn to be, you know, to kind of like restrict that abundance. But I feel that it's something where if we're feeling, wherever we're feeling restricted, you know, alleviate that. Do some good things for yourself. You know, elevate your senses. You know, do really focus on this. This is going to be like really, I feel like a good time for just like some good healing, Sag. You know, and really, yeah, just like I'm trying to think, like really. I don't know. I'm not sure what you're trying to do here, Sagittarius. Your readings have been just sort of, because I think you were going through some kind of spiritual growth not too long ago. There's something that's just like, yeah, like, try not to, just think with that, don't resist. If we've been needing a break, you know, and just like been needing just really breathe in some more fun or just something along those lines, like, don't resist that. Try not to be, oh, there it is. That thought where I was talking about inflexible. Try not to be inflexible in that sense of like, well, it's like I don't have time to, you know, work in fun or work in travel. You know, I have like X, Y, Z, blah, blah, blah to do. And it's like, well, okay, but yes, we have our obligations, but we also, you're your obligation as well, Sag, as far as like taking care of you, you know, doing creative things for you to raise your vibration and all of this stuff, taking time, you know, taking a vacation, you know, or even this is just like a staycation, but just like taking some time for you. You know, let's not be, you know, if that's something where we've been a little rigid in that. Go with the flow, Sag. And I know that might feel a little uncomfortable at times, especially, you know, if we take this time, do it guilt-free, because that's something where I feel like even when we take vacations, sometimes we think about all the things that we could be doing, or, you know, it takes a moment to really get settled in, and then before you know it, it's like right back to work. So just allow yourself to really kind of check out and be present in your creativity, in your leisure, in all of that, okay? Let's see what else we have. Okay, looks like we got the last one here, Sagittarius. Wow, and finishing it up with another one of your cards here. Hold up, let's switch back over. Because we got the 9 of Wands in reverse. And this to me, like really, if we've just been kind of cranking for a while and just been sort of like going, because maybe even with this Eight of Wands popping up, maybe that could also be too. Maybe our energies have just been sort of, maybe we've been feeling like we've been pulled in a bunch of different directions, and it's just like we're running low on fuel here, on energy. Take this time, really allow yourself, because this is the moon in Sagittarius, take a cycle, or just like take even just like a moment, you know, and just like find little pockets of just like time to really take care of you and just nourish yourself and yeah, and really be in your energy and just allow that healing to happen, you know, and get your, you know, really listening to your instincts, you know, and like your intuition, your guidance, that gut feeling, you know, if it's telling you to stop, or, you know, if it's trying to lead you to like, you know, like travel, or you've been seeing signals for like, let's say you've been seeing like billboards or different, like maybe like magazine articles or something that's like, that has like hot air balloons and trains and planes and automobiles and all the stuff, you know, check them out. See where higher self is trying to lead you, but you know, try not to ignore this stuff. You know, those signs, they're meant to elevate you in the long run. So, all right, I think I'm gonna leave that there, Sag. But interesting, very interesting reading. You know, this is, yeah, very fascinating. I feel like you are like something's getting ready to happen, in the sense of just like, if you just take a moment and just kind of really be with yourself. I just feel like abundance, you know, it's going to help you transition into whatever is coming up next really smooth. But if something resonated with you, give it a thumbs up, you know, because it's, yeah, give it a thumbs up and share this. If you know someone who might be going through this, you know, might be, you know, just needing to just like express themselves, because it's so important really to have like a creative outlet, you know, because I mean, we're creations. And so, you know, it's almost counterintuitive to not create, you know, more, because that's like part of the gift, you know, we're able to express and to manifest. And so do that, you know, and see where that leads you, Sag. And then when you're done doing that, subscribe if you haven't already. Hit that bell button. You get notified when I release videos each week. And then social media. I got some stuff that I'm cooking up that I got to meet with someone to bounce some ideas off of them. But I am working on this group, or have been working on this group, on this meditation app, Insight Timer. It's called Zodiacs Raising the Vibration. It's just a little spot where I drop positive affirmations there daily, so there's a treasure trove if you just need like a pick-me-up, you know, while you're going through this thing. Or, because, I mean, Sag, you are so wise. If you have any like encouraging messages, wisdom, Hierophant stuff, whatever you got, because the Hierophant is divine wisdom. If you got any of that, drop them in the group, you know, just anything to just like help raise the vibration, Sag. And you know, with time, like I wanted to, you know, do different things, like, oh, like, you know, maybe manifesting abundance with the Empress, or void, of course, with the High Priestess. Oh, how funny, with the High Priestess or the Queen of Cups. I'm not really sure. It started off with the Queen of Cups, but nature, my problem, our problem. We'll get that figured out. But again, that's a group on the meditation app Insight Timer, and the group is called Zodiacs Raising the Vibration. And then lastly, if you have any, because you got some hot tickets here, but if you have any Cancer in your placement, Sun, Moon, Rising, wherever, you know, Venus, that's a lovely placement. Come on over and check out my other channel, the Chariot and Friends. I do videos Monday through Friday there. Absolutely talk about the High Priestess, Queen of Cups, lunar shenanigans, and all that housekeeping for everything. It's down in the description box below. But let me get your surprise cards here so I can get you out of here. Absolutely. You got the Four of Swords in reverse here. It's you know, and I'm gonna get your oracle card here. But just with that Four of Swords, Sag, it's time for a break. You know, I feel like especially if we've been kind of like really in our heads and just like maybe really stressed out, not really sure where to go next, you know, just like what direction, because maybe that's something too. Maybe we're just trying to figure out a direction. But this is something that I feel like in order to get the answer, this is Jupiter in Libra. In order to get the answer, we're going to have to take some rest for a second and really kind of gather ourselves again. And yeah, wow, absolutely. Last card here, the Festival card. Have some fun. Go to a festival. throw a festival, you know, whatever. But make sure that we're just doing things that are just getting us back to where we're feeling calm again, where we're able to, like, our connection with our, like, our higher selves are just feeling good. You know, we're feeling like we're able to we don't feel like we're stuck. You know, we're feeling like empresses. So work with this, you know, work with this energy, by working with your energy, by creating stuff, by just doing things, you know, some recreational things, something therapeutic, just to get you zenned out there, Sag. And I feel like things are going to just, it's all going to be just all hot air balloons and ascension from here. So I'm gonna leave that there. You stay safe out there on your travels and with your creations, and have fun. Really enjoy yourself. You know, this is you're in a place I feel like you're going to really just, you know, learn about yourself. It's just fantastic, okay? And you raise your vibration through the roof, because it's going to be totally worth it in the long run for you and for all of us, because you know, you decide to become that wise teacher here. And who knows? You know, if you happen to be on your travels, or, you know, while you're doing some creation, you know, maybe you might run across a Hierophant, you know, to your High Priestess. Something to think about. And the Knight of Cups is a romance card, so something to think about. And I know, ain't that shameless. And I will catch you on the next one later. Look at that, I'm trying to get y'all married.